Hey everybody, I wanted to go ahead and work through another problem in 10.2 on using the correlation coefficients and being able to tell if there's a linear correlation. So the problem below says, or a problem in this says, listed below are the cost in dollars of airfares for different airlines from Boston to San Diego. The costs listed below are based on a ticket purchase, this should say ticket, a ticket purchased 30 days before or 1 day before the flight. Is there sufficient evidence to support that there is a linear correlation between the cost of tickets purchased 30 days in advance and the cost of those purchased 1 day in advance? Use alpha is equal to 0.005 in the critical values of the Pearson correlation coefficient table. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go find this value r. That's going to be our first step. I'll also show you how to get a scatter plot of this data as well. But we really need to go get this correlation coefficient value. So to get that value, we're going to go ahead and go to our calculator. Let's go ahead and clear anything that's in there. So I'm going to get rid of this, and we're going to go ahead and hit Stat and Edit. And you can see we've got an L1 and L2. So what we're going to do is this stuff in the first column is going to go in L1, and then the information in the second column is going to go in for L2. So I'm going to go ahead and hit pause and put this data in L1. So you can see here, I put that data. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data points, and I've got those in L1. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit right arrow key. Oops, let me go ahead and hit enter one more time. Sorry about that. We're going to hit the right arrow key, and that's going to bring us into L2. And now we're going to put this second set of data into L2. So 455, enter. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of that in. So you can see I went ahead and I put that data from L2 in here. So we've got those data points. Double check before you go further to make sure that these match up. You need to have the same number in L1 as L2. So now that we've got that data entered, I'm going to take a second and show you how to get a scatter plot of this data. So what you do is you go to y equals. We're going to turn plot 1 on. Make sure that's on. Then I'm going to hit second stat plot. We're going to turn plot 1 on. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. We want to make sure this is a scatter plot, which is this right here. We got L1 and L2. And now all you want to do is we're going to go ahead and hit zoom 9. And you can see right there, here's our scatter plot. Now we don't have the scales and stuff. If we were going to actually draw this out on a scatter plot, you'd need to make the X and Y axis, label them, and come up with scales for them. But again, there's a general sense of what that looks like on a scatter plot. But now we need to go find that that linear regression data so that we can find our value r, our correlation coefficient. So how you do that is we're going to press Stat, we're going to hit the right arrow key, and we're going to go down to linear regression, ax plus b. I'm going to hit enter, and we hit enter again. And you can see right here it didn't give me the correlation coefficient. If this happens to you, if you don't have an r value, what you need to do is I need to go ahead and hit second catalog, and I'm going to scroll down until I see diagnostic on. So after you hit second 0 and scroll down for a while, it's in alphabetical order. I'm going to hit enter for diagnostic on, enter once again. Now take a look at what happens when I run that regression now. Hit 4. We're going to hit enter one more time, and there we go. So now you see not just A and B, we can see we have our correlation coefficient of 0.71833522124. Again, you know that according to the notes, we're going to round this 3 decimal places, so our correlation coefficient is going to be 0.718. So there's our correlation coefficient right now. And now I want to talk about how to get this threshold value using the critical tables. What you're going to want to do, this is your formula sheet. Again, this is available on Moodle and also in the notes for this week. This is going to determine our critical values table. So I take a look, you see n right here. You see it tells us we're going to use alpha of 0.005. That's given to us in every problem. So that means we're going to be using this column right here. And now we just need to figure out what our n is, and our n is the number of data points we have. Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 data points. So our value that we're looking for is 0.754. And now we just need to figure out, is our R value greater than or less than our threshold for critical values? Well, 0.718 is less than, right? So you see that we got R is 0.718. 0.718, which is less than our critical value of 0.754. This means that our value, our correlation coefficient, is less than the critical value. So if that's the case, then there is not enough information to support a linear correlation between the cost of tickets purchased 30 days in advance and those purchased 1 day before the flight. If that R value was greater than the critical value, there would be information, but since R is less than the critical value we found in table, we cannot conclude that there is a linear correlation.